Can you actually hear me this time?
Yeah, it sounds fine on my end. Does it sound fine on your end?
That one was like a decent conversation. I could actually hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, do the intro, lady. Let's do it.
Hello, and welcome back to Mindless Prattle.
The podcast where we only have problems. That's
Literally,
it.
I also just noticed instead of Mindless Studio, you put Mindless Studio.
I don't care. Other than the recording, whatever. I don't care.
The podcast where we constantly have tech problems.
Yeah, it's a whole fucking thing. But if we're doing audio only, we may be able to switch back over to the other software and not have to pay for this one then, because this one was just for the video portion.
That's true.
Small wins. Everybody listening, I essentially this week I moved. And so for the foreseeable future, I will be in a hotel. And as they are known for the best Wi-Fi, I'm on hotel Wi-Fi right now. So when we tried to record a couple little test bits, the video and audio would record, but there was such a delay on my end that every time that Ripley would stop talking, there would be a good like 10 to 15 second delay between when she would stop talking and when I would hear it to respond. So it just looked like I was sitting there staring off, not doing anything for a good 15 seconds at a time.
As you usually do. Yeah.
Right. So it just, it doesn't work is what we've decided. So what we are doing is this week is switching to audio only. Sorry for all the, dozen people on YouTube. I can probably still upload an audio version. I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
Well, I'll look into it.
I don't know if we can afford it, but maybe we can animate somebody, or we can like put our voice.
I don't know if we can animate anything, but we can. we can for sure. We can for sure upload audio. So we'll have the audio portion. It'll be out on time this week. It'll be crazy. You won't even know there was problems till you start listening, and you're like, "What problem did they have this week?" It's that I moved and I'm on hotel Wi-Fi. That's the problem.
Doing amazing.
Oh yeah. Hey, but we turned off the cameras.
I have cat napping in my lap.
Yeah, we turned off the cameras so it's actually recording properly, and as long as my internet holds up, it should be good. We will see. We'll see how the hotel Wi-Fi goes. Maybe it's a 3-minute episode this week. You never know.
Yeah, because I can mostly hear you, but every once in a while it still breaks up a little bit. So we'll get through it.
See, that one was delayed for me, so that's fun.
Well, it's like constantly uploading, you know?
Right when I stopped talking?
I didn't that time. I was pausing to look at stuff on the screen. Oh. Because, you know, it like constantly uploads.
Girl, I'm afraid of the pause. I'm sitting here explaining how I'm worried about it pausing, and then you just fucking pause. How dare you?
I'm sorry. I was taking a second to look at something. I'll narrate next time. But I was just thinking about how it constantly uploads when we're doing it.
Yeah, it's so that we don't lose the recording. So even if my internet goes out, we'll still have both the audio portions up until the point that mine goes out. And yours will still be recording even if mine drops out. So if I suddenly leave, you can still record. And then I can try and jump back in and
go steal a guest star
and join again. You go get a friend real quick and steal it from them.
Like, what's that? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Let me phone a friend.
Let me phone a friend. Get somebody on random. Get somebody in a Discord. Just have them join in.
So, have you heard of my podcast yet?
You're right. Hey,
you're
last minute. Right. Like, have you heard of this podcast? You're currently on it. Good news.
You've won the competition.
Hey, but you know what? Now I don't have to do my 18-hour routine to get ready for the podcast because my face won't be on there. So it's all good.
I didn't put makeup on today, so it's good. The cat has scratched the hell out of me this week. Good. I've got like 7 scratches.
Yeah, you've been saying that. You're like, oh, she scratched this today. Oh, she ran into that today. You are fully in control of where she goes when you throw that wand toy around.
Well, like I said earlier, like it was on the other side of the bed from me. And
are you clicking something in the background?
Sorry, I have my fidget toy on my desk.
Stop that.
But she was darting from one side of the bed, and I don't know how she like lost her footing or something and decided that my face was the best place to catch it. And so she
But why was your
hit.
face so close to the side of the bed? Like, what were you doing over there?
I wasn't. I was sitting on the opposite side. That's why I'm
right. And she
it
jumped
happened.
Across the bed and hit you.
Yeah, but
what are you
it happened so
talking
fast.
about?
I didn't have time to react because I was confused as to why she was jumping. Because normally she does a little wiggle thing and then she jumps. No, she I don't know if she got scared or something, but she hit my glasses off my face and scratched my hand and my face, and I was stunned for a second because I was like, how the fuck did she just do this?
I think I'm gonna be honest. I think it was just you. I think it was it was you doing that. I think you just got too close and you were just like, this will work out.
And then yesterday I was playing with the wand toy and she ran across my foot with her back claws out, and that's how she got me. But it was just because the wand toy got a little too close to my foot when I was sweeping it back and forth.
Oh boy. So you've just been playing with the cat and getting injured all week.
Yeah. She's sleeping in my lap right now.
Yeah.
It took her, she wouldn't relax with me for a while. And then yesterday morning, or this morning actually, I had been up for a while and she started meowing at me while I was washing all the linens. And then she meowed at me until I went and sat down on the bed with her so she could nap.
Yeah, I can see
she
that.
Just wanted me in there.
Yeah, she's a needy little hoe. She does that.
Yeah, and before she was napping on the back of my desk, and then today she's just hopping up into my lap. But she doesn't pay attention to the edges of the furniture ever. So she's like I have to hold her with one hand because she's gonna slide off my chair if I don't. She just
yeah, cats
melts.
tend to do that when they're unconscious.
But she trusts me. So that was the story I wanted to tell you, though, is that yesterday I had closed the blinds to take selfies and stuff.
Right.
And
get the lighting all perfect.
She hates every toy but the one toy pretty much. She's so picky.
Yeah, because
with how she wants to be played with. And she likes feathers. She doesn't like noise, all this stuff.
You really got to stop clicking that thing. It's loud on my end.
She goes absolutely batshit crazy for the blinds. She kept darting in and out of them. Not even scratching them or anything. Just she likes darting in and out of them and the sound it makes.
When they're closed or when they're open?
When they're closed. They go back and forth together and it's whatever.
Yeah, it's that little cascade.
Yeah. So I had to open them back up because I was like, no way are you keeping me up all night with this shit.
That's why I told you get some what are they called? Bungee cords and stuff. You can bungee cord them all together when they're open so that they don't rattle against each other.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to.
Oh man, I have been.
That's my story.
Nice. I've just been working all week. I worked. Well, Monday I headed out, and then I was in meetings and stuff until about 10:30 at night Monday night. Tuesday and Wednesday I worked half days, but I couldn't go home, so I was just hanging out doing nothing Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday I had to drive down here, and I just got basically thrown into the deep end with all this paperwork and new responsibilities and stuff. And then yesterday I worked 8 to 7, I think. Mm-hmm. It was a thing. And I was getting into this new position that I've got, and they essentially have told me that I'm working 9 to 5, except when we have meetings at 9 a.m. or things to do that are due before the next day, in which case we'll stay after 5. And I'm like, cool, how often are these meetings? Oh, we have 9 a.m. meetings Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then we usually stay after most days. And I was like, oh, good. So 5 days of the week that I have to come in early and leave late. And they're like, yeah, pretty much, yeah. And they're like, oh, and then on weekends, we usually have something to do every other weekend or so. And I was like, oh, good. So a 6 days on, 1 day off, and then 5 days on, 2 days off. That sounds like a good schedule. I was like, oh, thank you.
You're like, this is going to be so fun.
Yeah. It's a thing. But I'll do what I can to set into it. Can't complain too much. I finally got into a hotel room, so I got indoor plumbing now. not complaining about that for sure. But yeah, oh my gosh, when I was staying in the room, I was staying in a room with, I don't know, 15 other people or so, and one of the guys brought a guitar. He brought a guitar, and there's no walls or anything. It's just, bunk beds lined up. So this dude is just playing guitar at like 8:30. No, it was after that. It was on Monday night, so it was after 10:30. Like we got released at 10:30 from all these meetings we were in, and then we were all getting ready for bed, and this dude's just practicing guitar. We were like, why would you do that? Like, why would you just sit here
That
and
would
practice
drive me
guitar in front of
absolutely
30
insane.
people at 10:30 at night? He didn't do it the rest of the week, but I think someone talked to him because I was like, this is ridiculous. Luckily,
Yeah,
he only
somebody
played
probably
like
have to pull him
2
aside and
songs.
be like, if you don't stop, somebody's gonna beat your ass, dude.
Yeah, well, luckily he only played like 2 songs and then stopped. It wasn't like an hour long jamboree or anything. But
He
I
wanted
was
to
like,
tell you
"What are
guys good
you
night.
doing, sir? Like, what are you?" Yeah, I don't know. He was, and it wasn't even just practicing guitar. He was also singing along. He was singing
Was
with
it
the song.
Wonderwall?
I don't know. I walked past and didn't stop. I luckily my bunk was far enough away that I didn't really hear him because it was down
Mhm.
like the hall basically, or down the building. So I didn't really hear him, but I could still hear a little bit of the guitar itself. And I was like, dude, it's too late for this. Why are you playing so late at night?
Like, please let me go to sleep.
Yeah. Hmm.
I feel like this week
But
just kind of passed by in a blur.
yeah, pretty much. That's what happened for me too, other than driving down here and all that fun stuff. But I still have to go to Walmart today. I've got a list of stuff that I need just for the room.
How much?
Well, I was gonna get a small trash can because where I was at, there was no trash can in the room that they put me in.
Mhm.
So I was like, the only trash cans they had were like the big, like 55-gallon trash cans, but they were outside. Like, so I would have to go outside in the middle of the night or whenever to throw things away. So what I was doing for the past couple of days was just putting all the trash that I had inside a little plastic bag, inside like a grocery bag, and then just
Yeah,
taking it out when I had to leave in the morning. So I was like, I don't have a trash can or anything. So I was gonna
I've
get one
done
of
that
those,
before.
but now that I'm in the hotel room, they have the trash can underneath the sink and whatnot. So
Do you get room service
it'll
like every
get
day
there.
or?
No. Because I'm here for so long, they come. She said they come twice a week, or 2 to 3 times a week, depending on the schedule. It just rotates through rooms, so they don't have to come to every room 3 times a week. But if I don't need anything, I can just hang up the sign that says no room service needed for the day or two or whatever, just in case
Oh,
they try to stop by.
4 p.m.
It is 4 p.m.
I'm supposed to stream at 4, but I was just gonna wait until after we did this, but I didn't realize how late in the day it got.
Yeah. Sorry, I had meetings today, like I said.
Oh, don't worry about it. I went out with my sister and
Like,
everything, got boba, so
yeah, how's your sister doing? You were like, I was like, how'd your week go? And you were like, I play with the cat a lot. You have a new niece, but
yes,
sure,
my
the
sister had a
cat.
baby.
You have
She's super cute. I
you
can't
have a
lie.
niece now.
Well,
You
a
were like,
second
but
niece.
I
She's not
have
my
a
first
cat.
one. I have
No,
another
you have a
niece.
new niece. Yeah.
Yeah, she's super cute. I love her.
Oh,
Um, and I like holding her. I can see why moms have such like shredded arms. Because I could not imagine having to hold a baby all day long. Like
yeah.
it would get rough. But she's cute and she makes all the same facial expressions that all the women in my family do. And again, looks like a carbon copy of every baby in my family because we all look the same.
Right.
Um,
Right.
Super cute though. Love her. My sister's doing better. She's at home now and she's walking
Yeah, I
around and
was gonna
stuff.
say she's. I saw you sent a picture. She's out of the hospital now. That's good.
Yeah, I guess C-sections are not as bad as they used to be. So she did have to stay for a few days because she had some bad reactions to the medication they were giving her.
I,
And then
I,
they were
I
so
wouldn't know.
my sister's husband is Mexican, for those of you who don't know. And I guess I've been doing tests on the baby. And I was like, oh, what's wrong? And they're like, oh, yeah, she's looking a little jaundiced. And I was like, oh, I just thought it was because she's Mexican. And they looked at each other and they were like,
You did
yeah,
what?
that's what. Yeah, they looked at each other and they were like, yeah, that's exactly what we thought too. But I don't think the nurses realize that he's Hispanic. Like,
He doesn't look a
he's
whole
pretty
lot
pale.
Hispanic, but it's pretty funny that you were just like, it could be jaundice, but I'm pretty sure he's just Mexican.
Yeah, because I mean, she looks the same she did when she was born. Like, she didn't look like yellow,
Yeah,
yellow to me. Like her eyes didn't look yellow.
yeah,
But and I guess they got the
that's
test
funny.
results back that she's fine. I'm like, yeah, she's probably just tan. Like,
She's just tan. She's been living in the dark for 9 months. Okay, she can't be tan.
yeah, like they tested her and she's
Gotta
fine.
be
So I'm like,
jaundice.
you did. I mean, I guess they didn't see my sister's husband because he had to work a lot when they were in the hospital. So they were like, look, they see my
Yeah,
sister who is like she's as pale as I am, probably paler. She's
yeah,
like
yeah.
much more cool toned or whatever. Um, So I'm like, they probably like were just like, oh my god, the baby's jaundiced. But
Babies, the liver's failing. She'll never
yeah, but
make
it's
it.
just I think it's just because Gabe had to work so much that
They
they
just
didn't
didn't
get to
see him
see
that
him.
much.
They were like, this
That makes
baby is
sense.
really tan.
That makes sense.
But I'm excited for them. Um, and I went over. I brought my sister tea today. It was a whole experience. I was texting you the whole
You,
time, but
you I am I am 100% convinced you just messed it up
I
because
think I mixed up the menus.
the
Yeah,
the boba place by our house, it's you normally get there like panda chai something, and they're like, oh
cream
yeah, it
blast tea.
takes
Yeah,
right. You're like, and they always say, oh, it takes us a couple minutes to brew the chai tea, and is that okay? And you're like, yes. Now, the last time we went to get boba, we were going to Walmart to buy a bunch of stuff for the cat. And so we stopped by at the boba place over by that Walmart, which we'd never been to before. And you saw that they had Earl Grey boba on their menu. So you got Earl Grey boba there. And then today you text me and you were like, I messed up the menu. They said they don't have the thing I normally get. And I said, what did you try to order? And you're like, I tried to order the Earl Grey boba, but they said they don't have that here. I was like, well, of course not. You're at the wrong boba place. What are you
yeah.
talking about?
So the first woman who was trying to help me, I guess she was in training, and so she got confused and got somebody else. And then that lady started ringing up like an Earl Grey tea with all this add-ons, and she's like, "Do you want cream and sugar?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like I was like, "I'm sorry, am I ordering the wrong thing? Like I thought it was this. Is it? Am I saying the wrong thing? You know?" And she was very patient, explained everything to me, but I just felt so stupid and embarrassed. I was like,
That
"Okay,
is
I'll
so
just take like the
funny.
oolong and the chai then. Like I'll just
You
get those two so I don't complicate it."
you had to
And then I tipped
have
them
a
and
boba place that you've been to probably half a dozen times explain to you their menu because you thought you were in the wrong place.
I just and I was so
That's
anxious,
it's so
but
funny to me.
I've never been there alone before, and the parking lot was a mess. So first off, before I
That
even went
parking
into
lot
there,
always is a mess. There's
and it's a
no parking
Saturday,
there
it's a
ever.
major
Oh yeah,
shopping center.
especially
It's a
today.
Saturday, so they were crowded, but I got there at a good time and I found parking on this lane that's a one-way. So you drive, from the lane to the right or the parking lane to the right, you drive around and then you can park on the left side, and that the left side's a one-way. Um this
I know the
lady,
section you're talking about. You're talking about the
yeah,
one over by the oil store, right?
yeah, yeah, right there. And this
Okay.
lady did not I'm walking and this lady is not paying attention. She almost fucking hit me with her car. Didn't even notice I was there at all. Like I just stepped out of the way or whatever.
Oh, you
And
were
then
on
just
foot?
parked. Yeah, because I was going into the boba shop at that point. And then when I
Oh,
came
okay.
out of the boba shop, this guy fucking pulled in that way again. And I was like, bro, you were so lucky no one's like trying to get out. The car left like 5 seconds after that. But I was just like, what is like, can you guys not read signs? Like, I don't go in wrong ways. I might almost go in wrong ways, and then
Whoa,
I go,
whoa,
"Oh
whoa, let's
shit, that's a
back
wrong
up.
way."
Let's back
Don't
up.
start.
You
That was
do
years
go in
ago. That
wrong
was years
ways. No, you brought. Oh, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but I cannot let this
ago.
lie stand that you do not go down the wrong way, like the wrong way down one ways. Okay.
I correct
A
myself.
long time ago when we were, no, you did. A long time ago when we were living in Vegas, you were driving. We were going to downtown Summerlin, which is like like an outdoor shopping center, right? And
Love downtown Summerlin. Shout out to all the
yeah,
people in Vegas.
you turned you turned left to go under the highway, and on the other side of the highway, you tried to turn right so that you could go towards downtown Summerlin. And you turned right, and there was a car, just one car, and it was sitting there flashing its brights at you. And you went, I remember this because I was petrified of dying. You went, why is that asshole flashing their lights at me? And I looked up and I said, because the sign next to them says, do not enter one way. And you went, oh, shoot, and turned around real quick. So you can't sit here and
Listen,
tell
it was
me
years ago. I
that
was confused. I didn't take that way ever before. Then
you
I
don't
always
get to
went
sit
around the
here and tell me
casino.
that you don't go the
Um,
wrong way. You
and
definitely
I'm a
do.
much better driver now. I'm a much more cautious driver than I used to be as well, especially now that I pay for my own
Yeah.
insurance.
You know what I just
God.
looked up?
Yeah, sorry,
What's
what?
up? No, you
I
go
was gonna
ahead.
say, so I had to take my mom to the airport the other day as well because she was in town for my sister's baby being born, and I had to
Right,
take her
right.
to the airport in rush hour
You could just say
traffic.
your niece, you know.
Oof, oof, oof. Let me tell you, ooh, I hate the traffic here, and I
Yeah.
just was complaining to her like the entire time about traffic. It's just such a headache trying to
Yeah,
get
it is.
over. And I don't take toll roads because I'm not gonna pay for that. I debated it, but I didn't do it, and that's my story. I hate traffic. TLDR, driving makes me anxious. And your turn.
I was gonna say I'm looking up like different restaurants and things around me, just to go look at. There is a Domino's and a Wingstop nearby,
Oh, you
and a
can try those little
McDonald's.
sandwiches.
So I am all set, really. There's a Long John Silver's, a Fuddruckers, a
Fuddruckers, damn, a
Walmart,
lot of them closed down. We used to go to Fuddruckers a lot as a kid.
a Chick-fil-A.
Now I'm kind of horrified by them, but
Why?
because they sell like buffalo burgers and ostrich burgers and things like that. And when I was a kid, I was like, oh my God, yay. And now as an adult, I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe I ate an ostrich or emu or whatever the fuck it is, like
I feel like I'd try that. You wouldn't try like exotic things, or you could. I think I would.
I barely tolerate eating meat, like
What do you
like
mean
the
you
guilt I
barely
feel for eating
tolerate
meat.
eating meat? All right, I'm
Well,
not
it's like
buying
I
you
just feel
any
guilt.
more meat. What do you?
But no, like the problem is I'm so picky and there's a lot of foods I won't eat. So like cutting food out is not great for me. I like meat. Sometimes I get really sad when I eat it though. I really
Yeah,
love animals.
I really love animals. Oh boy,
I wish farming practices were more ethical, I guess that's all.
more ethic. Like when my
Like small
mom,
yeah, like your
like
mom and them. Like that's an ethical farming practice, like they take care of
how
these
is it
animals and whatever.
take care? You think the other ones just keep them like in a like stationary place, give them like a bunch of
Well, in a
food
lot of
through a tube, and
factory
then kill
no, in
them?
a
What
lot
do
of
you?
factory meat farms and stuff like that, like they stuff these animals together and then like for cows, they essentially for like to get milk and stuff like that, they essentially rape cows so they keep producing milk with like a machine and like they spend like 80% of their life like standing up being milked and it's like painful and terrible, but like small farmers aren't like that, but it's like the really big factory farming that's an issue, especially when it comes to
Is it
chickens.
like
Like
that?
the way they treat chickens is like horrible. I've seen like
Hmm.
videos and stuff and it always makes me feel bad.
I don't know that it's really like that, but I mean, I can take your word for it, I guess. I don't know. I've never
I saw an
been to
undercover video of like this chicken and cow farm a few years ago and I was just like
undercover
horrified.
video. They had to go
Yeah,
undercover to
like
get in with.
they went undercover and like became an employee of this place so they could show like what it's like on the inside and like how
Right.
people are treating these animals and like it's pretty horrible honestly,
Is that the
like a
same
lot of
one where
animal
they were like,
abuse.
oh, chicken nuggets is actually just a bunch of like baby chickens like grinded together? Is that one?
No, the one I mean the baby chicken video I know is the one where they show kids how chicken nuggets are made and they're like these are baby chickens and this is pink slime that's like all chicken bone and stuff. Would you still eat it? And all the kids are like, yeah.
Like kids were like, okay, like what are you
Yeah.
trying to convince us here? Like what are you? I don't.
But it's just like videos of like baby like chickens and stuff like that stuffed in cages like with no space and like killing like baby males because they can't lay eggs and stuff like that and
Yeah,
it's
who
pretty
needs
sad.
males? It's crazy. Oh, you know what? I do have a story. I don't know how I forgot about this, but the other night, by which I mean
Thursday
Thursday,
Friday.
yeah, Thursday night, I locked myself out of my car. which like normally, it wouldn't be a huge deal because like you could just call a tow truck and it's fine. You can go inside and wait or wherever you're at. Oh no, I was in the middle of nowhere and I didn't have anything on me but like my phone. So I called the insurance company and I was like, "Hey, I locked myself out. Can I can
Help
you
me.
send somebody out to open the car?" And they were like, "Yeah, let me look. We'll get back to you." And I was like, "Okay." So then I went to a different company online that said that they were nearby, and I tried to just schedule somebody on there, but it said they couldn't find anybody. So I called them, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't have anybody nearby um, to do that." And I was like, "Okay." So I was like, "All right, well then I'll just wait." And they're like, "Yeah, somebody should get back to you shortly if we can get it." And I was like, "Cool." So then my insurance called me back and they said, "Oh, we found a contractor outside of our network that can be there in about 90 minutes and they can get you into the car." I said, "Okay, that works." And they're like, "It'll be like $100 out of pocket though, which we can reimburse you for later. You'll just have to pay it up front." And I said, "That's fine as long as someone gets here to unlock my car, like let me in." Because
Yeah,
like
and
it's
your
not
phone
like,
battery was, like, pretty low too.
yeah, it was. It was at like 35%, and I had to wait like 90 minutes, and I was like, my phone's going to die. So, but the other thing too was I was, in the process of moving. So all my stuff was in my car. I was like, I have nothing outside of my car. It's all in there right now. And I was like, okay. This is also, by the way, the first time I've ever locked myself out of the car, like in my life, which I was like, this is the perfect time, like right when I need to get in my car the most. And so I called back the second company and I was like, "Hey, I found somebody to come. They're going to be here in 90 minutes. Can you cancel my request? I don't want anybody showing up." And they were like, "Yep, we can cancel it." And I said, "Cool." Their online portion, like where they said that they would match me with somebody to come out, they never said canceled though, so I'm concerned about that. And I'll get to more on that in a second. But the first group of people that the insurance company put me in touch with, they told me to text them my name and the address and then the make and model of the car. I said, okay. So I sent that information at about 8 o'clock at night, and they said, okay, well, we can. Well, they on the phone they said we'll be there in 90 minutes. Text us this information. So I text them the information at about 8 o'clock. 9:30 came around and nobody was there. So I was like, I'm going to call this one again. So I called them again at 9:30, an hour and a half after I'd talked to them and sent them this information at 9:30. And they said, "Oh yes, we got your information. I'll schedule it to come out." And I said, "What do you mean you schedule it to come out? You told me to text it to you and you'll come out within 90 minutes." And so they were like, we can just dispatch somebody. They'll be on their way. They'll be there in about an hour. And I said, "Okay, so now that you have the address, it's an hour drive." And they said, "Yes, it's an hour. They'll be there at 10:30." And I said, "Okay." So I come back at like I'm literally just sitting there. 10:30 rolls around, nothing's there, and I was like, you know what? Maybe they're running a little bit late. I'll call them at 10:40. So I call them at 10:40, and they said,
Mhm.
"Our driver is about 10 to 15 minutes away." I said, "Okay." 11 o'clock rolls by, 20 minutes later. 11 o'clock rolls by. I'm talking with this guy who's near me, like one of the guys, and he's like, "Yeah, let me call them and see if I can find out where this driver is," because he knew the area better, and I didn't have anything to do, so I was talking to him for a little bit. So he knew the area better, and he calls them up, and this time somebody else answers the phone, even though it's the same number. And she's like, "Yeah, I think I'm nearby, but I think I'm lost." So he directs her to where we're at. They finally get there, and then I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous." So they finally show up at about 11:15. Mind you, I this whole thing, I found out my car was locked about 7:15. So it's been 4 hours now, and so they come over, they get the car open in about 15 minutes. It wasn't too long. They were good about it. They
Mhm.
were good at their job. They had the tools and stuff, and I was like, all right, cool. Which I was looking at. I talked to somebody to the day after about it, and he was like, "Yeah, if you next time or if that ever happens again, just let us know. We can just drive you over to like Lowe's. We'll pick up like a couple." equipment things that they have at Lowe's and be back in like 40 minutes, instead of 3 hours or four
Yeah,
hours. I was
I
like,
was
oh,
thinking
thank
someone
you.
there has to have the knowledge and skill set to do something like that. Like, I know you didn't really know anybody yet, but I was like, somebody
No.
there has to be
Well,
available.
it was my first day there as well. But here's the other fun kicker about it. I had no confidence when they got there. I had no confidence that they were going to get into my car because when they got out of the car, the guy Googled my car and how to get into it and watched the same YouTube video that I watched on how to get into the car without the keys. He was sitting there watching YouTube on how to get into my car, and I was like,
Paid $100
"Isn't
for that.
isn't this your job, dude? Like what?"
He's like, I haven't
But
seen one of
they
these cars
they
before.
finally got
Not to mention,
yeah,
I
they
told you
got
that
in the
your
car.
car
I was
is one
like,
of the
"Oh,
most
thank
broken
goodness."
into, like,
Is it?
because it's
Did
so
you? Yeah, I don't
common.
think you told me that.
Yeah, like recently I saw a huge thing, especially in our neighborhood, that like a lot of people's Kias and stuff were being broken into because apparently I don't want to say the way on here, I don't want to spread the knowledge, but there's like a
For
really
the
easy way to
knowledge.
jumpstart it with like a screwdriver. Um
Oh, yeah, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, but
so like
like
they're very
you
easy to
first have to
steal
get
and the parts are
inside
common.
though. Like yeah, they anyway. So they had to like get a YouTube video on it, and I thought it was funny. And
It was, I'm sorry to interrupt.
no, you're good. That's what you're here for, really. But they
Mhm.
they finally got in. They took off, and oh, but back to that other contractor that I called. The people who ended up showing up, I paid them like $100. I got it reimbursed, so it's fine. But the other company was going to charge $132. So I put down my card info, and they said we'll only charge you once we open your car. And I said, okay, that's fine. But then I, canceled the request because the other company said they were on their way, the company that showed up. But I looked on my statement today and they still charged me $132. So I'm like, great. I just got more work. So now I have to go back and call this company and be like, hey, why did you charge me? I canceled the service. You never showed up. Like you didn't perform any services for me, you know? So now I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. And maybe it's just pending because they thought about it, but I hit cancel on their website 3 times. It didn't go through. So I called them and they said, you have this active invoice or with us. And I said, no, I'd like to cancel the request for them to come out. I got somebody else to come out. I don't want anybody. They said, okay, we can cancel that for you. And I don't know if it just never went through or I got lost in translation somewhere, but they still charged me anyway. So now I'm going to have to go through and look at it again, which is
Yeah,
it's
dispute that
it's
with
just
your
more
bank if
work
they
than they
won't
have
do
to. I'm
undo
like,
it.
yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
call
so it
it
has to be as
like
inconvenient as possible.
right. But if they don't like resend it or give me the money back, I'll have to dispute it with the bank. Be like, look, they said they wouldn't charge me. They charged me anyway. They performed no services. Like they didn't do anything for me.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was my Thursday night. That was basically the highlight of my week. Meanwhile, I was standing outside, and it was by the time they got there, I think it was about 35 outside, and I was like,
Oh
man, I
god.
wish I'd packed a denser jacket, or worn one.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen you that stressed out in a while.
I was not happy about it. I was like, ugh. It was not a fun time.
Makes all my
But
work stresses seem like a lot less in comparison though.
but luckily I didn't have to be up super early Friday morning, so I still got I think like 6 hours of sleep, so that was nice. But I messed up your sleep for sure because you were supposed to open
Well, so
Friday
funny
morning,
story about that.
and uh, and I just kept you up late, like texting you about all this drama that's going on with me.
Well, I was staying up because one, I was like worried about you and stuff. Want to make sure you got in okay. And then but I also started playing Pokemon again that night. And so like literally I had started falling asleep on the Switch maybe 5 minutes before you called me. Like I was passing out on the game. And then you called me and you're like, I'm so sorry for keeping you up. And I was like, yeah, you're the reason I'm not sleeping.
Yeah,
That's why. Yeah, don't worry about it. So you're good.
oh boy. Yeah.
I just had trouble. I was weird because I've had absolutely no problem sleeping every night, actually, up until that night. Like, I think it's because my work
Oh, I
schedule.
see.
I make
You
my
were just lying
schedule.
to me when you said it would be difficult to sleep when I'm gone. I see.
Well, the cat helps a lot, frankly. Um,
You
but I just
renamed her to Frankly? Ugh, that's terrible.
I
Terrible name for a cat.
just that night, like I think it's because I worked so late. Like I stayed at work like half an hour to an hour late. I can't remember how late. Because it was really busy and my boss was in for to meet with me. And then I had to open the next day. So it was like less than 12 hours between the time I left work and had to go back to work. Um, and it was just hard on me besides what was going on with you. So it's because I have to work all these different shifts because there's different things I need to
Hmm.
do at different times of day, you know. But the inconsistency really fucks up my sleep schedule. And I just eat whenever I want now. I don't. It's very strange.
You don't have to wait for me to get off work at 8 p.m. to eat. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's like I think me and Kitty have been having dinner around 6 p.m. usually.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do once we wrap this up. I'm gonna go and what's it called? Go grab. Oh, I gotta stop by Walmart, but then I'll go grab something to eat after that.
I'm gonna have to change into some sweatpants after this. Like, oof.
I
But the cat
was
is asleep on
talking.
me, and it's like tight.
I was talking with some of the people down here about just getting the lay of it, and I was like, "What do you guys do in like your off time?" And every one of them was like, "There's nothing to do here. Like we
Not even a
just work
bar.
out." They're like, "We just work out after we're done," and I was like, "I could do that." So long story short, when I get back, I'll just be like super ripped. It'd be
And
nice.
then we'll get more tattoos.
No, I'll be ripped. What does that have to do with tattoos? Wait a minute. What? What
Because
a
you'll be
like
super ripped and you'll have
your
tattoos.
first like successful transition of like a conversation, and you were just like, let's steer it towards the.
Because I think you'd be really attractive with a lot of muscles and a lot of tattoos. You're
You
already
just want to
really
get
attractive, but
you just want to get another tattoo.
I
That's a
also want to get another
fully
tattoo.
selfish
But I've
reasons. You
told you,
don't
I like
have
tattoos. I think tattoos are hot. Like as many as you want.
as many as you want. Oh man, like I, you fully just
I
went.
do want to
I
get
want
another
one.
tattoo. I just don't know where to place it, and I want to gain a little bit of weight first. Can I complain to you about something? I complained about this yesterday to one of my friends, but so I'm trying to gain weight. Internet, now I'm trying to gain weight too. It is a struggle for me to eat when I get stressed out. So, like most people get hungry, I don't. I have to plan eating all the time. It's a lot to think about. But so my goal is to gain some weight this year. TikTok will not stop sending me diet ads. Like literally every ad I've gotten lately is like, get your best body, try this program, diet, lose weight. And I'm like, can you fucking stop? It won't let me remove the ads. It won't let me ban the ads. I'm like, I don't
Right.
need this. I don't know if I complained about this last week, but it's still happening. So I'm complaining about it again.
I think you talked about it briefly last week, but yeah, I get a lot of
It's very annoying.
ads. Sorry, I got a message real quick. That was from work. Um, what was I saying? Oh, I get a lot of ads for gym memberships, and it's just like yeah, and it's just like here's some memberships in Austin for you, and I was like, okay, but I'm not there, so I would.
Um, I get a lot of cat ads now because I've bought so many stuff for the cat and looked up so many things about cats. So like I was
Yeah.
looking for a gift for another manager earlier because he's leaving, and like everything it advertised to me was like something related to cats, and I was like, target audience not achieved.
Mm.
I did laugh though. I actually took a picture because the cat was sleeping in my lap, and I was scrolling through like coffee related gifts, and this mug popped up that says she believed she could, but her cat was asleep on her lap, so she didn't.
It's the
And I was like,
law.
good
You're
timing.
not allowed to move if the cat's there. That's what I saw. I saw a picture this week, and it was just somebody sitting on a couch, and she goes, "I'm pretty sure I'll die of starvation before I can get up." And she had like 5 cats sitting on her, and I was like, "What? Why do you have so many cats that you can't get up?"
Some people's hearts are too big and can't say no. I don't
Yeah.
know who I might be if you weren't here to rein me in.
Oh, I forgot to. say this little fun tidbit about the whole being locked out of my car thing. I
Mm.
well, on the way, I had a long drive that day, right? Before I got locked out, and then so I stopped and I grabbed like snacks for the drive, which we all
Mhm.
do. And I got like a bag of what are the Dots pretzels, which are really good. I like them. I don't think I've
Yeah, you
had
said they're
them
like honey
before.
mustard, right?
Yeah, I got the honey mustard ones. They're good. But I left them in the car because obviously I had to go do stuff outside the car when I got here, and so I left them in the car. And the first thing the locksmith did when she came over to like look and see where my keys were, because they were just sitting in like the cup holder.
Mhm.
He said, "Oh, yep, your keys are right in there." And I said, "Yeah, I know. I've been staring at them for like the past 3.5 fucking hours waiting for you
Yeah,
guys."
you're like, "Why the fuck
And
do you think I called you?"
yeah, I was like, "Yep, they're right there." And the guy, that brings up a second thing. But she looks in, she goes, "Well, don't you worry, we'll get you back to your pretzels in no time." And I was like, "Pretzels, girl, most everything I own is in the car. I don't give a crap about pretzel. Like, I will pay you in pretzels if that's what you're interested in right now.
You're
Like,
like,
what do
"All of
you?"
my prized possessions are in that vehicle. The least of my concerns is some pretzels."
And then the dude had the best question, like the best question any locksmith could just ask at the right time, right?
Mhm.
I've been waiting for over 3 hours for them to show up. He comes over, looks in, starts to get out his tools, hasn't done any work yet. Like, it's not like he's been working for half an hour and it's just not going his way. He hasn't done any work yet. And it was like being on the phone with customer service of like it was terrible. They just ask you the dumbest things possible.
Yes.
He looked in there, hasn't gotten anything started, has his tools like on the ground, hasn't even picked up anything, and he goes, "Well, do you know where your spare key is?"
Oh my lord.
Excuse me? You think I just sat here waiting for 3 hours, not thinking about where the spare key is? And I said, I didn't even say anything. I looked at him and he goes, "No, yeah, I guess if you knew where that was or had it, we wouldn't be here." And I was like, "Yeah, what?" Yeah, I've been waiting for three
God, at
hours.
least he realized. Because
I
that
was
happens
like,
to me all the time at work, actually.
"What?"
Like when we have to call stuff in, there's like a number we call and they go through all this stuff. But I always troubleshoot first because like most of the problems I know how to solve. So if I can't solve it, like I'll troubleshoot. So I'll put in the
Yeah,
notes, I'll be like, I tried this, I tried this, I tried this. Here's the issue I'm having. Every time without fail, they'll be like, okay, did you do this? Yes, I
hmm
did. Okay, I'm gonna
I
have you
had
try this
to.
again. Yes, I already did it like 4 times, or else I wouldn't have called you. I know
Yeah,
some people are
it's
really dumb and like technology's not their thing, but I generally can fix most issues I have with technology. Like generally.
That was the same thing when I started with Activision. My name got put in wrong. Everybody always spells it Jordan. Like, it's my whole life. It's been like
Hmm.
that. And so when I started with Activision, they put my name in wrong, and it was on like 6 different accounts that my name was wrong. So for like months after starting there, everything was wrong, and I was just trying to get it fixed for months. And it didn't help that they're different systems, so like different people had to be contacted, because I couldn't just contact IT and have them change it, or HR and have them change it. No, I had to contact HR, IT, the head of my department, that my senior manager had to sign off on like an approval to change my name in the system. I had to prove that it was my legal name and that I wasn't just wanting to change it for preference. I was like, it was a whole thing. But one of the days I had to change my name in a system, and the system had 2 categories. It said legal name and preferred name, and the legal name obviously is your legal name, and the preferred name, they would just use that on like company emails and things like that. They would still use the legal name for like payment and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
because they required to. But the preferred name you could change, the legal name you couldn't. So I changed my preferred name to my actual name, and then I emailed like 7 different people, and I said, I need to change my legal name in here because it's incorrect in the legal name spot. The preferred name is correct, but the legal name is not. And then I listed underneath it. I said, I changed it in this system. I changed it in this system. I tried doing these steps. it says when I click on the name and click edit, it says talk with your IT department or something like that. It said talk with like a supervisor who has like an administrator who can change this for you because I can't change the legal name. And I sent all that in an email to somebody, I can't remember. And they got back to me and they said, when you click on edit, what does it say? And I sent them a screenshot of my first message. I screenshotted it and I sent it again. And I said, please see this attached image. And it was just an image of me sending the first message again because they didn't even fucking look at it or read it. I don't know. And then they sent another message back and said, oh, I must have missed the part where you put the steps that you'd already taken. I was like, there's only like 3 sentences in this. And the third sentence is the steps that I've taken. Like, what do you mean you missed them? It's the step, like, it's
Like the
right
reading
there.
level here is less than desirable.
I was like, what? They're like, so did you try hitting edit? And I was like, no, I just magically stared at my computer and thought it would change if I thought about it hard enough. Of course I hit edit. What are you trying? Like, I was so mad. I was like, I don't know what you're doing right now, people. It's ridiculous. Oh, but yeah, some
Ugh,
fun
indeed.
times having my name, you know. It's
No, yeah, you've always had issues. Like he has to double check like
every
everything.
time. Everything ever. They what was it recently they put my name in wrong? They put my name wrong on something and I corrected on one thing. Oh, when they were trying to get me a hotel room, I had to correct my name because I was like, I don't want to show up and then be like, this isn't you. You have the wrong name. No hotel room for you. And just go like
Yeah.
sleep in my car or something, you know? Like didn't want to do that. So I had to correct them beforehand. Ugh, too much time. That's what I think.
I don't have that problem. Everybody in my life has always been like, "Oh my god, your name is so unique."
Your name is so unique. I know exactly how to spell it. Ripely, right there.
Yeah, I think like half the time too, my name is like why people will like pick my resume or things like that, or like even bother looking at me online. Like they're like, "Oh, cool."
That's funny. I think so. I think that might be part of it. Yeah.
Plus, my name's gender neutral, so they can't make like inferences about me.
I mean, so is Jordan. I've met plenty of female Jordans.
Yeah, the most of the female Jordans I've met though, like their names are spelled like different. You know, like they'll put like
It's
DYN or
usually
something
yeah.
like
It's
that.
usually Y or A. I don't know if I've ever met another JORDON that's a female. I met
Yeah, I've
one
met a
that's
few male
male.
Jordans.
Yeah.
It makes customers really happy when I can spell their name right. I'm like, yeah, my boyfriend has the same issue, and they're like, oh, cool.
So I've also been reading more this week. Well, I
When
started
are you
out on those
starting my
half
favorite
days. When
series?
I finish my book, Calm Your Tits, Woman. When I finish this book, I will read some other stuff probably. But like I said, I had free time like Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Thursday through today, I have not had any free time other than the time I set aside to do the recording for the podcast. You know. Oh, listen to this. I thought this would be this is pretty funny. You're gonna laugh. Don't worry.
Okay.
You have to laugh. It's required now.
Okay.
Don't feel pressure or
Ready.
anything, but
Ha 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 ha.
it's required. And I saw this joke and I the other day and I was gonna bring it up, but I am also actually reading a book. But this joke is about reading, so I thought it fit perfectly. Are you ready? Are you ready for the joke?
I'm ready.
Okay. You got your laughter like all
Yeah,
ready
laugh
and
track
stuff. You were like,
cued.
you did your vocals and stuff.
Yep, yep.
Okay. Now you're sure? Because I don't want to be like at the end of this and you're just
Just
like,
tell me the joke.
oh, okay. All right. Why are you so angry? I feel like you're not in a receptive mood for my jokes. Okay, so I'm reading a novel where the main character has strained the muscles around his spine.
Okay.
That's his backstory. I think you should laugh. I thought it was funny.
That's his backstory. Oh.
Oh my lord. You what, Nate?
You say things so casually that I don't understand sometimes. Like I'm like, okay, when's the joke coming? You know, because you're just so like, yeah, here it is.
uh,
No, it took me a
that's
second.
funny.
And that is funny.
You know, my doctor told me the other week that I have really grown as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, like her exact words were, I've gained excess weight, but I prefer to see it the other way.
Did I ever tell you about the time my doctor labeled me as morbidly obese because they entered my height wrong?
I I
So some
remember
of
that.
my
Oh my
I
gosh.
was looking. I was looking through my paperwork the other day, and I remembered because it said on my paper. For those of you who don't know, I am a little underweight. Actually, I'm 5'3", and a few years ago, I went to the
You've been
doctor.
lying to me. You told me you were 5'4". You liar.
I went to the doctor, and they put my height as like 4'3" instead on accident, and because of that, I was at a healthy weight at the time, and because of that, when they put it into the system, it labeled me as morbidly obese. And I
That
just know
was
one day that's gonna come back to bite me in the ass.
Oh man, that was great because that same medical paperwork, I actually needed it to submit like for a claim. So when they put it on there, they were looking for like health concerns, and
I
I
had a
had to
thing on my
explain,
brain is what we were showing them.
I had to fill out an official memo and get it notarized saying that you were not actually morbidly obese, but that they messed up your height on the on the height section.
Yeah.
It was such a pain, but it was so funny talking with everybody about it.
And like I don't know if you know
Uh,
about this, but like if a doctor labels you as obese, it like fucks up everything in your medical paperwork. Like
oh
they
yeah,
will never do anything for people they label as obese. Like they will just tell them they need to lose weight even if their health problems are not because of their weight, you know? Like it I honestly, I'm so sorry to people who have to deal with that because I could not imagine. Doctors already don't take me seriously, but I'm sure that's just another obstacle to overcome. I remember when I was going to the doctor for the fibromyalgia, they were diagnosing me with fibromyalgia, right? They left me in their waiting room for 2 fucking hours with these like bright ass fluorescent lights. He came in and I was like, "Yeah, I just have a migraine from the lights. Like I've been dealing with migraines since I was 12, you know?"
mm.
Suddenly they get super they're like, "Oh, you get migraines. Like we can bring a doctor in for migraines." All this I'm like, "No, I don't need a migraine doctor. I have a migraine doctor. I know all about them. Like I'm good." But they just latched on to the migraines all of a sudden. I was like, "No, I don't need help with that. Thank you." I would like to get out of this. But plus, I was late for work that day because I'd never waited longer than 15 to 30 minutes for my appointments there. But like I said, I waited for like almost 2 hours in just the exam room waiting for the doctor.
Hmm.
It was fun. Plus, I was texting my boss. I was like, "I'm really sorry. Like, this has never happened before. Like, I will be there as soon as I can." It's like 20-minute drive. Like, I was like an hour and a half late for work. It was fun. And that is my TED Talk. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just looking over these jokes right now, and I'm chuckling at them. I'm also listening to you probably, but these ones are good too.
Fine. Tell me your jokes.
Yeah. All right.
Tell me
As
your
you
secrets.
may or may not know, my son's 4th birthday was today. And when he came to see me, I just didn't recognize him at first, but in my defense, I had never seen him before. I'm an expert at picking leaves and heating them in the winter in water. It's my
In the
specialty
winter.
in the winter.
Aw, specialty. That's cute.
Why is
I don't know
grass
what
so
else you want to talk about.
dangerous? Go ahead,
Why?
you guess. Because it's full of blades.
Yeah. Someone allergic to grass. Yes. Oh, I'm
Oh
getting
man.
tired.
You're
Tell me
always
more
tired.
stories. No jokes.
Stories. No, I'm telling jokes now.
No, I'm making sleepy with the jokes. I want to talk to.
You making sleepy with you don't laugh at my jokes?
I want to hear stories.
What kind of, you got to tell stories if you want stories.
Well, I don't know if I have any stories.
You don't have any stories? I guess that's the end of this
I mean, I
podcast.
guess I have this one
We'll try
customer
again
who,
next year.
well, I have this one customer who, like, she's complained before and said, like, one of my employees was rude to her. And I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
there, so I just, like, dealt with it and took care of her or whatever. So the other day, we were slammed, but our wait time was really good. It was, like, maybe 10 minutes. But we had a lot of mobile orders, and this lady always, like, she basically wants us to make her stuff right as she walks in. Like, if we see her, she wants us to serve her before anybody else, and I don't do that. I'm like, all
Right.
these people have waited just as long, whatever. Um, but she started being really fucking rude about it. And I looked at her and I was like, "Oh, are you this person?" And she goes, "Yes." And I was like, "Okay, your drink is right here. She actually just finished it if you'd still like it." Um, and then she just started like yelling and she was like, "They
Yeah,
should have been
I'm
ready all
listening.
this time ago, and all these people got these beverages and on and on and going on and on and on and on and on, right?" And I was like, "Okay, well, you have a great day," because she was just like yelling at us and running out, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but like we were nice to her. She was very rude to us, but like we did not give her
Oh
an attitude.
gosh.
I was just matter of fact with her. That's how I handle angry customers at this point. I'm just like, "Hey, here are your options." Like,
I think
or
the
"Hey,
internet's
do
going out on
this."
my
Like,
end or
sorry about the
something because
wait.
you are coming in very broken up.
Oh, am I? Am I still? My computer went to sleep for a second. If that's it.
Uh, Try to say it. Go again. It probably was. What you what, mate? Why would you do
What?
this?
Do what? My computer just
Are
goes to
you
sleep after a
okay?
while. Is it better now? Can you hear me?
I mean, yeah.
This the
What? I
end
can,
of the
good Lord,
podcast.
woman, can you not hear me?
I can hear you
I take that as a no. Why would you sing that it's the end then? What are you talking about?
because I couldn't hear you for a minute,
Are
and
you
then I could hear you
okay?
after. That came through
You
after. Is there a
can't.
delay now? I think there's a delay again.
Yeah, I think so. I think we got like delayed right at the end.
Well, we made it an hour through.
Is it still delayed?
I don't know. It depends. Can you hear me when I speak now?
Yeah, it's such a long wait. It's such a long
Yeah,
pause
there's a
between
delay.
us talking. Oh boy.
All
Well,
right.
there's a
Well, I
bunch
guess
of
that's a good stopping place.
unless it sorts itself out, but
You let me know.
I mean, it got shorter that time, like the talking.
Yeah, is it better now?
I think so. Did it fix itself?
Maybe.
Well, it's a shorter interval, so I'll take it. I will take the what's it called?
Should I finish my story or just
Yeah, will you start it over? I didn't hear most of it, so I don't.
so this customer basically came in and she was mad we
Mhm.
didn't make her beverage before everybody else who was waiting. Started yelling at us and I was just like, "Oh, are you this person? We have your drink right here. Like it's ready if you still want it." Not rude at all, didn't give her an attitude, just was like, "We have your drink, you know?" Um she waited 3 minutes past her expected time.
Right.
She's yelling at us, all this crazy stuff, but she was talking to me. And a lot of people don't realize I'm the store
You're
manager
clicking your
because I
thing
look,
again, aren't you?
I did once, sorry. A lot of people don't realize I'm a store manager because I look young and I'm, small and unassuming, I think. So she
Non-threatening.
just like yelled at me and ran out. And then she emailed me later, like literally like maybe 15 minutes after she left. And she was like, "I just wanted to let you know that I'm probably not coming back because the people at your store gave me such an attitude and I had to wait for so long." And I think I've
Oh
said it on
yeah.
here before, but that's my pet peeve is when people are like, "I've been waiting for like 30 minutes and I can literally see the time they ordered on their sticker." And I'm like,
Right. The
"It's been
sticker has the
7,
time
but,"
on it. It's been, yeah, like 5-10 minutes. You're like, okay, I understand
and
it's been a little bit, but come on now.
yeah, and it's like I get you're in a rush and stuff like that, and you want to get to where you're going fast. But if you want to, if you're looking to get coffee before you go to work, you need to make extra time because everybody else is doing the same thing. Every single person thinks that they're the most important and that they need to get to their destination on time, that they should be pushed to the front of the line. But we can't do that for everybody.
Right.
Like
Or
I
just,
have
I
to
don't
be
know,
fair and
buy a
equal.
coffee pot. Like what?
Yeah, and like we're going, like I said, we were going fast. So if you gave yourself like 15 extra minutes to get to work in the morning, um, you should be perfectly fine.
Hmm.
and the traffic sucks. So like you always have to give yourself time. Plus she came like right as school was like school rush was starting. Like
right when the kids were showing up.
yeah, like we had a ton of kids and parents and people going to work. Like we're a busy location. So
yeah, I don't
TLDR,
understand
please be
people like
nice to the
that.
people doing stuff for you and don't try to lie about like the way they treat you
The
because
way they treated
I
you.
get you're frustrated about the wait, but when you're yelling at me and then telling me my team's disrespectful, no, it's not going to cut it.
Right. You're like,
I'm
well,
waiting to
this
respond to
video
her email
shows
until
that you
Monday.
were incorrect. So, oh, that was today?
No,
Question mark.
it was Friday.
Did you? What?
I got a text message. I'm sorry.
I was like, is the
It was
delay
Friday.
back? What do we?
No, it was on Friday and it was a busy day, so it was a little frustrating, but
Gotcha.
yeah.
Mm. Oh man, what are you doing the rest of the night? Just hanging out?
I'm supposed to stream.
Oh, right,
I can get the
right.
cat out of my lap.
You
I'm
decide what
probably
you're
gonna start
streaming yet?
drinking. I'm thinking
Okay.
maybe Destiny 2.
Destiny
Yeah, I want a
2.
Bloody Mary.
Oh man, did I send you that meme about Bloody
You
Marys?
did.
I swear
And I think
it's
about it every
awesome.
time I go to make one now.
Where do I have it? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Do I? Yes. Someone tweeted and they said, I think people who like Bloody Marys are lying. Like cold vodka tomato soup? Let's be serious. It's so funny to me.
I love them, frankly. Hi, kitty. Ow.
Mm, mm,
All right.
mm, mm, mm. Yeah, I don't know why you like. They're just not good.
I like a lot of olive juice in spicy tomatoes.
Yeah,
Plus, you add vodka. What's not to like?
I, lots of things. Oh man, we were on the phone the other night, and I was sitting in my car, and I almost had a heart attack. So I looked over to the car to my left, and there was just a skeleton sitting in the back seat staring at me, and I I jumped a little bit and I was like, what the heck is that? You're like, what are you talking about? I said, there's a skeleton in the car next to me. I sent you a picture of it. It's perfectly angled so it's looking out the window and it's just staring at me. And I was like, what is happening there? Oh man.
I saw a
And
thing
also
today that said, I don't know if it was real, but it was like a thing on Twitter that said Shakira dressed up a skeleton like a witch and put it pointing in the direction of her ex mother-in-law's home.
pointing in the direction. That's funny.
Hi, sleepy kitty. I am so in love with this cat. I don't think you understand how much she means to me.
No, she's mine. You can't have her.
If anything ever happens to you, I will be so unhappy.
You talking to me or the cat?
Both of you.
I don't believe that. You were talking to the cat. Don't even
I was talking
lie.
to the cat. No, you know what though? So like I have anxiety. It's weird how having a cat has changed the anxiety because literally like the day after we got her, I looked at her and I was like, "Oh my god, you're going to die one day and I'm not ready."
You're just anxious about her now. You just transferred it all over to
Yeah.
her. You're not
Like I care
anxious
about her
about
so
work. You're just like,
much
I need to
and
get
I don't
back to
want her
the
to be
cat.
alone. Caitlin actually showed me a tweet the other day and it was like something about like, "Sorry, I can't leave because like I'm leaving my cat home alone all day and like what if she hates me and like all this stuff." And she goes, "You." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yes." Like
Yeah.
I'm
What if
so
she
concerned
hates
about
me?
her health and safety and like if she's getting enough attention and exercise. Like I'm playing with her for hours a day, you know. I care about her a lot.
Attention and exercise. Nah. I'm with
Cuz
her.
she used to
She
live with a bunch of other cats. So what if she gets lonely?
lonely. Those cats like tried to kill her when the last time they were together.
If that is true, Milo kept hissing at her. And that other cat was like uninterested in anyone. Do you remember that cat that was like hidden behind us?
The black one that was like up on that little shelf.
Yeah, he was not interested in people.
No.
And this cat, I have to keep a hand on her butt so she doesn't fall off my chair.
You mean hold her? Yeah.
She just
Crazy.
stretches out across my entire lap, like, ah, yes, this is good.
Did you
But it
see?
means she trusts me.
Yeah. What's your opinion on the those lab grown like diamonds?
I mean, they're fine. I just think
Well,
I
like,
think it's dumb when
do you
they're just as
prefer them
expensive.
or the real diamond? The cheaper is the thing. Like, they're the lab grown diamonds are cheaper right now. But like, that's what I'm asking. Do you prefer one over the other, or like one more than the other?
No.
No.
Diamonds aren't my preferred gem, so I think they're pretty,
You
but
have to. You got to pick. You want lab grown or you want real diamonds?
um well, lab grown because it's more ethical.
Yeah. I saw a tweet that says it's actually crazy. We figured out how to grow real diamonds that are cheaper and better quality than the real thing. And so many people are still like, no thanks. The suffering is what makes diamonds special. Oh, I like that. I thought it was good.
Also, I would hope you know me well enough to buy a ring that I like, right?
What's
So I
that?
don't know if are you on Reddit?
Ring. Who said ring? I'm talking about diamonds, girl. What you
I
talking about?
know, but if you're gonna buy me a ring, you know me well enough to buy one I like, right? Like you wouldn't buy something I would find really ugly. I've
I
been seeing all
mean,
these posts on Reddit lately about people getting engagement rings and their partner, they'd be like, "Oh, I like everything except gold. Like I don't want gold. Like I like
except gold.
silver." And then their partner buys them a gold ring and it was like, "I thought you would like it because I bought it for you."
I bought
Like
this one. I don't know.
and
I
then the
don't know
girls are
really.
so nice. They're like, "I only wear silver jewelry and it's really ugly and I don't know what to do, but he did buy me this nice ring." And it's like, "Well, yeah, if it's a symbol of your love and relationship though, you should make sure the other person likes it, right? Especially if
Right.
you're
Be
going to
like,
spend
hey,
so much
this
money
is
on it."
not so good.
Like if you gave me a vomit yellow ring with a gold band and it was gigantic, I'd be like, "Oh, we have a problem." "Oh, you don't know me that well."
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to say that.
Oh man, listen to this. I hate to admit this, but our feelings on certain things really do change as we get older. 10 years ago, I would have preferred to get a new video game instead of an engagement ring. But now that I'm older, I would prefer to get a domesticated raccoon instead of an engagement ring.
Yes, I did get a cat. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Man, she's going to forget about me by the time I get back.
No, she's not. She misses you every night.
Oh, sure. That's why you're washing my scent out of everything.
No, I didn't wash your pillowcase.
The pillowcase that I never use. Uh, that's funny. Alrighty. Well, it is about that time. Unless you got any other last minute stories or quips or things to throw out there.
Everybody be kind to yourselves. Feed and
Yeah.
water yourself.
If you're kind to yourselves, I'll be mean to you. Balance. That's what it's all about.
You smell like tuna, kitty.
I don't smell like tuna, but
Yeah,
you. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We appreciate y'all tuning in. If you know someone who just wants to sit back and listen to two people talk about nothing in particular, or just talk about complaints that they've had this week, send them our way. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. We're on. You can also go to mindlessprattle.com. Find us on there. We got links to everything on there as well. If you liked this episode, wanted to share any feedback with us or thoughts, comments, concerns, maybe you want to tell a story, maybe you want to send us a story that you want us to talk about one week, you can go on the website and send us a message. There's even a little section for voice messages. If you don't feel comfortable with that, there's a little contact us page. You can just send us messages and we will get back to you or as soon as we can. Excuse me. But
tell us
other
stuff
than
and
that,
things.
we it tells us different things. But other than that, we appreciate y'all tuning in. I am Jordan, and that's Ripley over there. And unless she has anything else to say, we will see you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Bye. I gotta stop. Ugh.